Hi, I'm Trev from Coiltech. I'm just doing a short tech tip on our new 18-inch Mythtec coil for the Manticore detector. This being 18 inches round has a large sweep pattern, so perfect for open areas like beaches, parks and ploughed fields. So excellent coverage, and being a large coil like this too, it's got great depth on those larger targets and surprisingly good depth on the smaller targets as well. The coil is fully approved by Minelab and comes with the tombstone style shaft mounting, so it matches the Manticore detector. It's also fully submersible, so you can take it into the water, in the shallow water and deeper water where you need to. It's quite lightweight for its size, so you'll be quite surprised with the ergonomics on the Manticore detector. And ultimately, it's going to be a great addition to your detecting toolkit for the Manticore detectors. How to install the new 18-inch Mythtec coil onto the Manticore detector. The coil design has a tombstone attachment design to match the Manticore detector. And when you purchase one of these coils, it comes with a few items as well in the package. A couple of rubber washers, a couple of Velcro ties, and also a bolt that matches the Manticore detector. So the first step is to grab the two rubber washers and you place them either side of this tombstone area. You'll see there's a hole that goes through the tombstone, so position them roughly where the holes are and hold them with one hand here. Then bringing the shaft over the top, bring that over the top of the rubbers while holding the rubbers there and position that to the center of where the hole is. Using the bolt, just maneuver it around. You might have to go backwards and forwards a little bit until you feel the bolt go into that section, and then it should come out the other side. And as you start to press, you can see that it's pushing the other side. You've gotten through, and then just gently tighten up the bolt. You don't want to over tighten it, so just until you feel it starting to go firm, and maybe a slight bit more, and then the coil is ready to position in any position you'd like to put it. So it's quite simple and easy to attach the coil with the rubber washers that come with it. But that's a quick tech tip on how to install the coil onto the Manticore detector. The cable is the most delicate part of the whole coil. It's the umbilical cord that connects through to the control box. So making sure that we connect this correctly and protect it from any snags and bends and pinches is very important, because the last thing we want is any breakage through this cable. It's quite a thin cable. It's got a nice strain relief on the bottom there. So we've already set our coil up and we've attached it to the detector. First thing you want to do is unravel the cable. It should come in the package with it curled up nice and neatly. And you just unravel the cable and place it there. What I like to do is have the coil laying flat and the detector laying flat, because when we're going to attach this cable to the shaft, as you can see, in the rest position when you're actually doing your digging and maybe storage, you can see the cable's got no stress on it whatsoever. And when you start detecting, you'll lift your shaft up like so, and you'll have a bit of a loop here. But that's fine, because as you come down, there's no stress on that cable whatsoever. If you attach this cable while it is in the perpendicular position or upright, as you can see, as I come down with the cable, you can see if I've attached it really firmly here, it's going to start pulling too much in this area. So the best way to do this is to give it a nice loop down the bottom here. It's quite a big coil, so you shouldn't have too much trouble with bushes and twigs and that catching this, so just be mindful of that. But you undo one of the Velcro ties that comes with the coil and place it around the cable, the little end through the hole, and just attach it to itself there. Then undo the Velcro, and while it's in the rest position here, you know, maybe I don't know, 150 mil, 5-6 inches, nice and firm with the Velcro tie. Just tie it on like so, and then that gives it a nice position far enough away from there, so when it actually comes up, you'll have a nice loop here which shouldn't get in the way of anything, and when it rests down in position, you should be fine. Extend the shaft out to where you need it to be. Being a big coil, sometimes these shafts need to be quite a ways out, so you've got plenty of room to swing it. And then bringing the cable, wrap it around 3 or 4 times around the shaft, just to take up a little bit of extra slack, and then bring it up to the control box point, and it should just slide in. You will see there's a little notch in the plug and that matches in the control box. Tighten it up, give it a little wiggle as you're going, just to help seat it in there. It is a waterproof plug, so you want to make sure it's quite well seated in, and this is firm but not over tight, and make sure you don't cross thread either. Then essentially you can bring that up. There is another Velcro tie that comes with it, which you can place anywhere along the shaft as you want. And then as you're ready, you can bring that up, get yourself in position like so, and you can adjust your shaft a little bit more however you want. I'm a bit of a tall fella, so I like having the shaft out a little bit further, the coil out a bit further away from me, ready to swing. So just making sure that you protect this area down where the cable is connecting to the coil. It's very important. And yeah, enjoy the coil's performance, and away you go. Now to swing with the 18-inch coil on the Manticore detector. This is the 18-inch Mythtec. We also have an 18-inch Nox coil in the same housings for the Equinox detectors and Xterra detectors. But with a larger coil like this, you want to be quite controlled and smooth with your swing. So taking it nice and easy as you're swinging, just moving that upper body just to let that coil swing naturally from right to left. You want to avoid lifting at the end of your swing, because you can get a bit of ground noise, as well as every inch off the ground is less penetration into the ground. So you can push it around on conditions like this. It's quite easy to have the coil on the floor and pushing around, no problems. Just making sure that you're not trying to leverage any larger rocks out of the ground with the coil. So taking good care with that. And just nice and gently with your swing. There are harnesses out there for people that are concerned with the larger coil's weight, where you can attach the harness on the shaft, comes up over your body, and that way it'll take the weight off, and you can essentially just work with the bungee cord, keeping that weight off of your shoulder so you can last a bit longer. But just taking it easy when you're out in beach fields and parks and those sort of areas. Don't swing too fast, just take your time. And if you are in the water at all, just nice and slowly as well with the larger coil, because it is a larger coil, there may be a bit of excess drag. So don't try and force it through the water too much, because it can put pressure on this mounting area down there, and we don't want to damage that. So if you do go in the water, nice and easy through the water, just letting the coil naturally take its time through that condition. How to clean your coil after your detecting session, especially when you've been in scenarios like the beach or parks, fields where there's lots of dirt and debris, bit of water. So I'll just turn that off. So I've finished the detecting session, and the skid plate can quite easily come off of the main coil. So the first thing to do is to gently prise the nose of the coil, the skid plate off the coil like so. And once you start to get a little bit of an area, just use your fingers under there and work your way around the coil, just detaching it from the lugs that are on the coil. There's some areas where it will attach with the skid plate, and work your way around slowly, releasing it like so. Don't just grab from one end and pull, because as you pull back like this, you could crack the skid plate, and that would be not advisable. So give that a shake out, bit of a clean. You can also get a hose on that if you need to, because it's fully waterproof. Don't use any solvents or anything like that on any of the coil, just a clean, like a damp rag or water. And then once you've done that, you can quite easily position that skid plate back onto the coil like so. Work your way through the middle first. That's what I find is easiest. and then out to the outer perimeter. You can hear it click all around. That's the same for any of our 18-inch coils. And then once you've done that, you're ready to store this for the next detecting trip. So that's a quick tech tip on how to clean your skid plate for the 18-inch coil, especially on the 18-inch Mythtec. Wish you the best of luck out there, and happy hunting.